Hello, all of you out there in YouTube land. This is Geeks Assembled Audio Heads. We are uh, listening to more stories, more full cast audios, because that's our favorite thing to do when we gather together to talk about audios. This is um, the one that we've set aside today is the Doctor Who Lost Stories, and it's like season 26B or season 27 of the original series. It was Doctor Who The Nightmare Fair, written by Graham Williams. Um, I enjoyed it. And what's your opening thoughts, Lee, on The Nightmare Fair?
Well, this was one of the scripts put forward for production for the cancelled season 23.
23B then.
Yeah. It got so far as there was a written script, and they had hired Michael Gough to return as the Celestial
Mhm.
Toymaker. He'd been paid for it, but then season 23 was cancelled by the BBC. It was put on hiatus. So this is where Big Finish, after several years, decided let's get hold of these unmade scripts, put them into a series of the Lost Stories, and make their own season of Doctor Who. You know what could have been, shall we say?
Yeah, credit to John Ainsworth who did that whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, he wanted to do that. Yeah, and this story, The Nightmare Fair, would have been the opener of season 23. So you're looking at this would have been um, sometime. It would either been at the back end of 1985 or early on in '86. This would have sort of been on the TV. But as I say, it got an 18-month hiatus. The TV show didn't return until the trial of the Time Lord. So yeah, this would have been the opener, and it would have followed on from the closing episode of Revelation of the Daleks with the Doctor saying to Peri, "Oh, I've got it. I'll take you to," and then it goes to the credits. He takes her to Blackpool, um, and this is where it's all set. Uh,
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's a good it's a two-parter, and so they've made it into the sort of the season 22 where it was like 45-minute episodes, and this is what they did for this last story. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Say, set in Blackpool, in if nobody knows that Blackpool is a seaside resort in the United Kingdom. Um, and it's the return of the Celestial Toymaker. This time played by David Bailey, who had previously appeared in the Doctor Who TV show in The Robots of Death as
Oh,
Dask,
cool.
uh, who
Very
later who later turns out to be Taron Capel. Um, you know, who was the bad guy in that, and so because as I say, Michael Gough by this time, we say he's no longer with us, but by this time when they was making this, he was well in his late, in his 90s, and I think he'd retired from acting. So to get
cool.
David Bailey, great actor, it's no longer with us as well. Um, to step into the Mandarin shoes of the Celestial Toymaker in his realm of games and traps and the way it was uh, made. The Doctor at the fun fair with Peri showing it, saying that this is the greatest place, to enjoy yourself. Blackpool. I've been to Blackpool a few times, and I wouldn't say it's the best place to go, but that's just my opinion. Um, but yeah, it's of its time as well. It's set in well, it would have been set in Doctor Who modern day of the mid 1980s. So you've got the the computer game element.
Yeah.
Um, which was a good sort of setup and all like that. And then you find out that the toy maker does this because he's bored and lonely.
Yep.
He wants to keep himself amused.
Yep.
And they say they discover that he's not of this world and he's not of this unit. You know, he goes way beyond time and space, and which is a great element to it. Um, and he's defeated at the end of it as well, of course. But always the toy maker is always there. So, but yeah, Colin Baker is on top form as the Sixth Doctor. Nicola Bryant's Peri, you can't fault Nicola Bryant. And then you say the supporting cast do a grand job. Yeah, I enjoyed it. As they say, this was the first of the lost season to be made for Big Finish. It's a very good start of
Yeah.
season.
Yeah. Let's see. Some things about Blackpool. First of all, Blackpool used to host the Doctor Who
Yeah,
experience kind of thing
I think it was called the
and
exhibition.
exhibition.
Yeah.
And so that was all, part of what was going on with Doctor Who and Blackpool. Another thing is that Blackpool was also, later on, there's a TV show about like a police kind of mystery story kind of thing called Blackpool uh
Was that the one
that
with
was
singing and dancing as well in it?
Christopher Eccleston.
Was he in it? Was Christopher Eccleston in Blackpool? I thought it was David Tennant.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong about that.
Well, I'm double checking. Carry on, Susan.
Okay. Yeah. And the other thing that was this one really this era of the life of the Celestial Toymaker really he was really interested in making people make decisions based on other people in jeopardy, more so than it even was with Hartnell and Dodo and Stephen. And you kind of get this sense that that Perry's either being ignored by the toy maker or it's being used really hard by the toy maker. And I just, I know that how they got how he separated the 60 from Perry
Mm-hmm.
in that roller coaster, one car going one way, the other car going the other way, where it doesn't show that there's a different way to go. That was crazy. And another thing was there was a lot of heartfelt manipulation, especially around the guy that he pairs her with. He pairs her with some guy, some mechanic guy. So that
Cousin
was yeah, Kevin.
who was looking for his brother who disappeared.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I knew that these scripts were going to be good. I I really enjoy the Sixth Doctor pushing the envelope forward, making these decisions, making conscious choices um, to try to enjoy things, especially at the very end of this. He's
Mm.
like, it, it sounded like he looked like all the chains were off of his heart and his spirit or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, his two hearts. All the chains were off, and he was just gonna go and enjoy himself. And that's kind of why he went there in the first place. And so I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that that transforming movement from Sixth Doctor being really repressed to Sixth Doctor being really challenged to have fun.
Hmm.
And I like that a lot. Um, and then kind of like a really sort of it's kind of an old standby of his to draw people into sort of a Morbius loop of time and space in order to control and corral them, to cage them in their own activity. So yeah, yeah, that's what I've got for the Nightmare Fair for my opening thoughts. Your favorite moments, Lee?
Well, just to go back to the Blackpool TV series was David Morrissey and David Tennant.
It was David Tennant. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Favorite moments. There was a scene in this with where the Toymaker has had the gaming machine created by Yatsumoto, um,
Hmm.
where he gets him to play the game to show him how it's all done. And the game is you've got to beat the game or you die.
Hmm.
Um, and the creator of the game doesn't win. Uh,
Yeah, played by
he's
Toby Longworth.
Still Longworth was he's still a great voice actor. I don't think Big Finish have used him for quite a while now, but
Yeah,
yeah, when they first started way back when, he was one of the most used voice actors they had. Um,
true.
yeah, the creator was killed, and the way the toy maker just said to his servant Stefan, just remove Yatsumoto's
High
body.
score
Yeah, just remove his body,
and the
just
body.
get rid of it. And I thought, well, he is quite ruthless, um, without a care in the world, really.
You
He just
know.
he just wants to play the games. He just wants people to play against and defeat. Um,
Yeah,
but and he comes up against the Doctor, and said the Toymaker should have known better because say the Doctor defeated him before back in the mid 60s. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, it was for me the pairing of Peri and Kevin worked as well,
yeah.
where they were sort of trapped in the workings of the fun fair, going through the different rides. The was it the mining experience where
Uh-huh.
the robotic miners sort of came at them and all like that. But yeah, it
And
was
then the space flight one, and
yeah, was it? I can't remember. Was it Galaxy something? I can't remember what it was
yeah.
called. But it was all great setting, great, because before in the Celestial Toymaker, it wasn't a fun fair; it was in the Toymaker's realm.
Hmm.
He had more control in his own realm. This he was physically on the planet Earth,
Right.
controlling. it was a trap. It was a trap for the Doctor,
Yeah.
um, but he didn't know it was a Doctor until it was confirmed with the two hearts and all like that, and with
The proper DNA.
hiatus which he'd got from the Doctor sitting down or something over on a thing, and he got sensors. But yeah, I enjoyed it. And you do get the feeling that they have done this on purpose to make it feel like it is in the mid 1980s.
Right.
You do, you don't feel like it was made in 20 whatever it was, 2009, shall we say. Um, you get the feeling it is 1985, say, um, and that's great coming from just audio. I mean, it's not visually there, but audio, and you think, well, you're getting the decade, the vibe of that decade just by listening to it. So great soundscapes, the funfair noises, and it's a yeah, it's just think though, Susan, what if this had been made?
I know. Oh my God.
I
I
mean,
know. It would have been epic. It would have been huge. It would have been with the amusement parks.
I mean, it had been certain elements they wouldn't have been able to do on TV, but they can do on audio.
Yeah.
Um, so be thankful for audio. You the you know the bud the the budget on audio is just endless, really.
Infinite. Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoy. I mean, I haven't listened to this for quite a few years now, but I just thought I want to delve into some of the lost stories and start at the first one. But yeah, great listen. Enjoyed it, all of it. So back to you.
Yeah, I loved the rides. I loved the fun fair. I loved the winning a prize. I loved how the doctor and Perry and Kevin were separated. I loved how the doctor was like, that boy over there, he's looking at you.
Hmm.
I mean, he really he was noticing some things by that point, having a little more, you know, reality of adult sexuality. I don't know, like that was a long process for the doctor. Oh my God. All the way through the 60s, 70s, 80s into the 90s, the mid 90s. It just took him a while to figure it out. I mean, yeah, it was funny when how shocked he was what as the first doctor when Kamenka asked him for the cocoa and the getting engaged and stuff and this uh but always Perry was um beautiful, lovely to look at. All the straight guys totally thought she was gorgeous and wanted, to be part of that her inner circle and stuff. And so that was interesting.
I
Either
did,
her or Bonnie Landford. Yeah, go on.
I did like the way they sort of still made Perry um, sort of following the Doctor. The Doctor was always walking ahead of her, and that's what he used to do in the TV series. And Perry was always playing catch up, running behind him.
Right, I know. That was true.
They did this in the audio as well. I mean, they, they made the Doctor more because we all know he was written on the TV series quite uh, abrasive, a bit aggressive, a bit grumpy. Um, but with Big Finish, they sort of eased that out and made him a bit more subtle. But they had a mixture there in this.
Yeah.
I think they was connecting it with the TV series after his first season. You've got to have that little bit of, abrasiveness there. But then,
just after, just after the regeneration. But
yeah,
then, he can change. He
yeah.
can
Well,
go
this is it.
back to
You gradually you get the more warmer side of him as this story goes along.
right.
Um, but with Perry, she's always there. She's always about 3 steps behind him. Yes, Doctor. Oh, what? Yeah, of course you said that, Doc. But yeah, that's what she used to do in and I thought, great, they've kept that
Yeah.
because she
Yeah,
was
and
quite,
the
she was quite. Perry was a bit in the series and in this order. She could be quite sarcastic towards the Doctor with a little
uh-huh.
remark, and I like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, big personality and really a wonderful character to get to know. The other thing that was really interesting was the way that the Celestial Toymaker didn't really remember Stephen and Dodo as much as you'd think he would have,
mhm.
because those two were actually the players in the game
Well,
against his creations.
yeah, against his creations, you see, the Celestial Toymaker in the TV series was his time was taken up playing against the Doctor, wasn't he?
Right, but the game that he was playing with the Doctor was revealed in to the other stuff, right? They
Oh
were
yeah,
connected.
he was paying more attention of the game he was playing with the Doctor, while Stephen and Dodo were out there combating against his what do you call his minions, shall we say?
Right, right,
He most probably didn't pay much attention to all that lot while he was battling the Doctor.
right. Okay, but yeah. Anyway,
That's my thought on it.
yeah, that's good. And the other thing was that uh, you can see why they wrote um, the toy maker in last year the way they did, because he had I mean, again, he was relegated to Earth, and that was it. His power was so diminished over time. And the other thing that was really interesting was that he had you were right in your opening thoughts. He was kind of uh, mesmerized by you know game consoles for video games. I mean, it was just like there was so much of that going on with him.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, like that's really different. Um, you know, the the kind of trouble that he got into, was just in relying on the game to be complex enough to stump the Doctor, which it wasn't. And that's why the Doctor was able to create the time loop. And yeah, so and they're all and I just was wondering, is there going to be a high score on that unit? I don't know.
Who knows?
But that was a very 80s thing. You and I and some others have reviewed The Last Starfighter with
Yeah.
Robert Preston, and this got elements of that they kind of they may not have drawn from it, but yeah, it's got that kind of vibe.
Well. H3, H4, H5. That's when video games was becoming more and more popular. And you saw them being written into uh, everything on TV or everything on in movies. As you say, Last Starfighter, Tron. You know,
Tron.
it, it was the height because it was a new thing. These video games were brand new. What you know,
Hmm.
so everybody was getting involved in it in their
Hmm.
story. So
Yeah, true. And the and the and the minions that he had were all the game pieces and like also the security people around him.
mm,
And that was really interesting how he sort of gotten inside their head, the security man and Stefan also. So yeah, he was um let's see. Kevin was played by Matthew Noble.
yeah,
Stefan was played by Andrew Fettis, and Louise Falconer played the woman characters.
uh-huh,
William Wiper, um, Chard Lower, the attendant, Toby
yeah,
Longworth, Yasumoto Truscott, the manager and the man, and then Duncan Wisby played the human droid and the security people. And um, interesting that the human droid that was very cool. It was like straight out of Star Wars and stuff. So all of these things to be said that this was aiming back at a time. It brought enough of the soundscape and the culture together to really get that. And you're right about the whole sort of obsession with video games. You're right. And and yeah, so all that to be said that the next time we see the Celestial Toymaker, we should maybe expect him to be powered up again, I think. Anyway, yeah, always played by um cool people, David Bailey
yeah.
and Goff. I really liked Goff. He was great as the
Yeah, I mean,
as
I can't get over that. He was the script was there. He was cast. He'd been hired to reprise the role, and then the BBC just pulled the carpet from under season 23.
yeah, that was Michael Grade, wasn't it?
Yeah, he put it on
In
hiatus.
in the interviews for this particular audio, they did talk about Michael Grade and the that time.
See, I mean that would have been the second story if it was
Hmm.
televised, being the second story where Colin Baker would have been acting alongside Michael Gough because they both appeared together in Arc of Infinity.
Arc of Infinity. Oh yeah, that's right. When when
Playing
when
two different characters.
when Goff was back up on
Yeah,
Gallifrey and he was playing Maxwell.
yeah,
Mackin.
Maximum Heading. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so fun. This is such a fun show. Anyway, God, I love it. So anything else you want to say?
No, I enjoyed it. It pulled me in, dragged me in, and I enjoyed listening to it again. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. I like the idea that they've done it as a two-parter, like they did with the televised season before. So there was the
Yep.
connection there. Um, and we've said it many, many times before, but Big Finish have done the Sixth Doctor and Colin Baker proud.
Yeah.
Um, making him more fleshed out and
Yeah,
more likable.
more likable.
Yeah, and
And
better
with a
and better
and
story.
and with a more adult, aiming towards adult stuff, he he had to get through sort of the kindness and gentility of Davison. And you
And
need
also,
he was needed to be that kind of punchy
and
kind of guy. But
al-
he was go ahead.
also, we've got to be thankful for Big Finish for being an audio dramatization production team, because then we don't have to look at the coat.
Yeah, all right.
Six's coat. We don't have to look at.
I like 60s coat, but you can
Oh,
see that I like really loud colors.
I don't.
The greater thing is that they were able to get get him a lot more cool adventures, and they
Mm,
didn't restrict him anyway.
yeah, yeah.
And they had him paired with Perry and Mel and also uh what was her name? Um Staples.
Oh,
The
Maggie Staple.
Yeah, well, her character,
Evelyn.
Evelyn Smythe. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. God dang it! I just had a total senior moment there. Anyway, yeah. So tw it's almost 20 years later, and this story is still so good. And oh my gosh, and the the characterizations were perfect. And um, so, what is your final say and score? Over to
It's
you, Lee.
well, thanks to Big Finish for doing these finding the scripts, even if the scripts sometimes weren't finished. It was just like storylines, but this was a full finished script.
Yeah,
Could say Colin Baker remembered reading the script. Um, I enjoyed it. It would have been wonderful to have seen this on TV, but thankfully we've got this on audio now. Um, it's going to be 10 sticks of candy floss out of 10 from me.
yeah, that was great. And then and I'll say 10 roller coasters out of 10. I mean, I loved this whole thing, and I loved it when the Doctor and Peri started out screaming, and then by the time they got to the bottom of the roller coaster the first time, they were laughing so hard. I just love that. And then they were laughing at the end.
Going back, going
It
back to the
was
fun fair.
what was that?
Going back to the fun fair.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. Okay. So all of that to be said, we want you to subscribe to our channel because we do these things. We do these reviews all the time, and we love these stories so much. And then also, fuck Michael Grade and fuck ICE and fuck Donald Trump and let's see, and just play the game, play it honorably, read the rules,
Mm-hmm.
do the thing. You've been acquired as Sapphire and Steel. No, but this is important stuff, to know that your autonomy is being cared for by the administrations around. I loved how Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, went to Munich, Germany, without any people from the American government. That was pretty sweet. And all right, so then the other thing is that if you end up like in a video game, just take a deep breath and just play your heart out. play as hard as you can. Know that there may be a reset somewhere. You may be able to just, you know, hit the reset. And if you end up with the Celestial Toymaker, you're probably stuck in a time loop. And I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, um, yeah. And like and subscribe, share it widely,
Oh yeah.
hit the bell notification because we do premieres twice a week, and also, let's see, other things that are important. We're on social media. We're on X and YouTube. You see us here, and we are on Instagram, and well, Lee's got Instagram, and so we'd like you to know that our Facebook group is also available. And
Mhm.
that's where you can let us know stuff. Like if you want to join us, you got to be 18 or over because I'm a potty mouth. And also you got to be 18 or over because some of the stuff is kind of edgy. And
Mhm.
also the other thing is you can let us know if you've got a camera, microphone, Zoom, and a device, and then we can do these podcasts with you and join us by communicating with Lee. And that's pretty much all I have to say, except for ooh, that
Hey,
was really fun.
what a way to end it.